today what we're doing is we fixed up those last few tiles. We're going to do this molding. Right now we're sawing it into shape. And over here, we're going to put up a mirror and also a very large mosaic we will be making. We have the glass and the paint. We're going to paint the glass today and then let it dry. Probably tomorrow we're going to smash it up and probably get started on the mosaic. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, so we have a wall that is not straight here. The mosaic is going to be very forgiving of that, but we're going to add a piece of molding here.
This molding will help the larger tile meet the glass, which is much thinner. So we have a little edge on this molding and a larger edge that meets up with the tile on this part. And we just cut them into an angle. I'm going to attach them to this and do our mosaic. Let this frame our mosaic into place. We have a nice little angle here that we cut. And we're going to nail this right onto the wall. And our mosaic will be framed in with this. We'll paint this a nice gray to kind of match this and blend in and not be too obtrusive. Alright, let's attach this.
Okay, so the molding that we put up here so that our big tile matches our glass tile, and we're just taking some little tiny brad nails that don't have much of a head to carefully nail it in place. And then we're going to paint our molding something that will blend in with the tile.
Okay, now it's time to create the mosaic. We have our picture here, a rough sketch on the wall.
You only want a very rough sketch because when you put the glue on, you're not going to be able to see it, but you want to get your basic lines at least sketched on there so you know where you're doing it. We also attached the mirror. We glued the mirror to the wall. It had to set overnight. We had to make sure it was taped up while it was setting so it would stay in place. We're going to do, the mirror is going to become part of the mosaic. The mosaic's going to go right up against it.
Okay, so now we have our tile adhesive. Some very small knives, plastic and small putty knives to use because these are going to be small pieces. So we're going to start with the big feature that we want to get, which is the big wave.
So the first part we're going to do is outline the edges of this wave, at least the top part to begin with, and you basically start to match tile pieces all up to where they follow the curves that you're doing. Now we'll show you a little bit later as we get a little more into it, but you have to do it little by little. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. You have to find the right piece, put it in, find where you want it exactly, and what colors you want to use. We have various shades of blue to do the different dimensions of the waves and the tops of the wave. We have some yellows to do the sky and a champagne-ish color also for the sky. We don't have a lot of sky. The majority of our mural is the wave. So it's mainly blues and it's whites. We're using the same kind of tile adhesive that we used on our regular tiles, which is a pre-mixed tile adhesive. It's the easiest thing to use for the mosaics. It's already mixed, it's nice and thick, so it helps hold the pieces on.
Here we go. Okay, so applying the adhesive now.
We're using a small putty knife because you have to go little by little. We'll also, for the smaller pieces, be using the little plastic knives. But you just basically have to start where you want your curves to be and just do adhesive only on those curves. You want to spread it thick enough to where it's going to hold all the little pieces of glass, but thin enough that it's not going to poke through the tiny pieces of glass, which you'll never get that glue out of the cracks if it does. You only want to do a small section at a time of glue, or it will dry by the time you get all your little pieces in. It's a time-consuming project. Nothing really quick.
Okay, here she is putting the first pieces up. Pressing into place.
We actually added a little bit too much
glue on there so it's seeping through, so we need to make our glue a little thinner. All right. As you can see, we're making some progress. It can be a slow process, but it's looking beautiful. Here's our wave. I'm working on the sky. And you know what? Today I keep finding pieces that remind me of continents. Sounds like Iowa to you? Oh, look. North Dakota, which is not very exciting since it's a square. But, look at this.
You see
Part
Idaho?
of California is going to end up in the ocean, everybody says. No Idaho, there was an Oklahoma.
Oh, you mean the finger? That goes like that?
Yeah. Oh, but it broke off. Let's see. Pretty sure I just saw Africa.
Oh, cool. Cool.
New Jersey. Oh, here's a tiny itsy bitsy scrap. Rhode Island.
Oh,
Wow, the progress looks great. Notice we are using plastic knives, disposable ones, to help spread our grout. Easier to handle, flexible. You can throw them out when we're done. Now what about those pieces where the paint is peeling off of them?
Which pieces?
Well, the pieces that I picked up here and there.
We don't use the ones that have no paint on them.
Okay, we just toss those.
Toss them. Just put a little bit of glue on. It's best to work with a square of glue, but a small amount at a time because it takes a while for you to put it on. You don't want it to dry before you get it on.
Okay. Check back in a little while. We're nearing the end here. Just got one spot left. And see the crest of the wave here. We're having to improvise and add a little cloud because we ran out of one particular color that we thought we had enough of. Which happens. Can't wait to see the finished product.